Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. We're going to watch Deep Space Nine tonight. We're going to watch Tribunal, the second to last episode of season 2. So if you have not queued that up yet, go ahead and queue it up on wherever you're going to watch it, and we will start that in a little bit. But first, our customary jibber jabber.
We have to yak.
Yes. So Dane, actually, we've had a little bit of a topic in the live chat since
Yes,
before.
indeed. O'Brien's suffering.
O'Brien's suffering. Well, yeah, and we're gonna get to see some of that here in a little bit. But also, it was the idea of being an extra on a Star Trek show was brought up. So let me ask you.
Yes.
Are you answering the question, or are you?
I'm inviting you to ask me the thing, Steve.
If you had the opportunity to be an extra on a Star Trek show, even if you had to wear alien makeup, would you do it?
Yes.
Why?
I think it would be interesting. Also, they give you money. I like money.
They do give you money, but they don't give for an extra doesn't make that much money.
You were saying what, $100 to $200 a day?
I don't know specifically what Star Trek shows pay, and I don't know if you would get anything extra for being in prosthetics. Like, I have no idea what the system is, but it's typically an extra on a movie or a TV show is between $100 and $300. So
that sounds like a lot to me.
Is it a lot after you travel to Toronto, where the film is where the show is filmed?
Well, no, but like if I was in Toronto and I found out that, like, I wouldn't necessarily, would I travel to Toronto if they said, "Hey, we'll give you $100 if you show up on Star Trek and be in Star Trek"? I'd be like, I'd love to, but I can't. I'm so sorry. I can't. I don't have that kind of money, you guys. And you're not giving me a whole lot, and I can't. Travel is expensive. And then also, given how far I have to travel, I'd also have to take time off work. And that means sub plans. And also trying to like find subs and then feeling guilty because you're like leaving your students just so that you can go and be on Star Trek and not make a whole lot of money.
Are your earbuds plugged in?
Uh-oh.
Because I just heard myself. I was like, hey, I shouldn't hear myself.
We'll talk again.
Hello?
Well, if you're saying stuff, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Maybe you're just talking really loud.
But you can hear me now.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we're okay. 225 AD, yes, DS9 was filmed in LA, and Picard is filmed in LA as well, but the other...
That's even further away.
I know, right? Help. But Discovery and now Strange New Worlds as well are shot in Toronto. So if you want to be an extra on those, that's where you got to go.
Now, if you were visiting Jason...
Yeah, I mean, I'd be on the right coast, but again, remember, Jason's in San Francisco, not L.A., so that's still kind of a road trip, down the coast from.
Not terribly far.
Like we.
A few hours.
I guess a few hours. I've never driven from
day trip.
But here's the thing, right? And we talked about this a little bit before we went on the air just now. Like you. If I happened to be in Toronto for some other reason, and
the Toronto International Film Festival,
sure, and
because I know you like films,
which we never got to go to,
we never got to go to
because there was a terrible terrorist attack.
What?
Remember, we were going to go on 9/11.
Yes, I know, but as opposed to what? All the fun ones.
That's true. Good point.
It's kind of redundant there, Steve.
255 AD Discovery is filmed in Toronto. I think I said that. But
there's a lag.
Well, it's filmed fucking Toronto. But anyway,
golly,
but anyway, I know I'm just But no, if I happen to find myself, if I happened to find myself in Toronto for some other reason, and the opportunity came about to be an extra on a Star Trek show, I would probably do it. Although I would be much more likely to do it if I didn't have to get made up in prosthetics. Because for $100 or $200 a day, even if I'm in town anyway, like I'll just put it this way: when Michael Dorn joins Deep Space Nine in season 4, so we won't get there for a little while yet, but when Michael Dorn joins Deep Space Nine in season 4 and comes aboard as Worf, I'm pretty sure that he was the highest paid cast member.
Okay.
I think he made even more than Avery Brooks. I think. I'm not sure, but I think he did. And he earned every goddamn penny of it because he had to sit in that fucking chair every morning for God knows how many hours and have all that Klingon shit glued to his face. And I'm pretty sure that Michael or his agent or both, when Paramount came knocking and said, "Hey, do you want to come on Deep Space Nine and be Worf on Deep Space Nine?" He said, "Absolutely, as long as you back
pay me a whole lot.
As long as you back a Brinks truck up to my house." And good for him. Because that's what I would want too.
And that's the other thing is, I guess part of it is, how much does it suck? Like, part of me wants to know, how much does that suck?
Yeah. See, this is another area where your curiosity exceeds mine.
Which is hilarious, because when it comes to like bad movies, I'm just like, okay, I just need enough to satisfy my curiosity, and then I'm good. You're like, no, I must see it through to the bitter end. And I'm like,
so no, I'm willing to sit in front of a TV or a computer and watch a movie that maybe I'm not totally enjoying all the way to the end, but I'm not willing to sit down in a chair for hours and get rubber shit glued to my face. But you'd be willing to have the rubber shit glued to your face just to see how bad it is, but you're not willing to finish a bad movie.
Yeah. That's just it. The idea of sitting for a chair for hours, getting things glued to my face or my body is like way better than sitting through a bad movie.
Wow. Yeah, we are very far apart on that particular issue.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of them.
255 ADs asks, is the process less involved for extras? I would guess if you are like a background extra and you don't have any lines and you're not going to be that close to the camera, I'm sure they have just standard makeups that they just, plop on people. And it doesn't, maybe you don't need to have like an articulated mouth or have a lot of movement because you're just supposed to be standing there taking up space. So, but yeah, I mean, they don't make a cast of like every extra's head. Like they would only do that if you were going to be like a recurring character or something. Yeah.
Gear mix on, but then I wouldn't do it. If they made me watch a bad movie while they stuck things onto my face.
Well, that's just making a bad situation worse.
Exactly, Steve. Exactly.
Super chat from Oasis, who says, this is actually one of my favorite DS9 episodes, which simultaneously makes me feel bad for reasons we will see later. Aw.
Well, I don't understand that, but I will take your word for it.
I hope you don't feel as bad as O'Brien does.
I probably won't, because I'm not there.
He's going to feel pretty bad by the end of this episode.
Oh my goodness. Allergic to the prosthetics. Oh, golly.
Yeah, there's not a chance I would have. Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing. Like, I love Star Trek. And I'm like, maybe I would do it if I had to wear prosthetics, right? They couldn't pay me enough to wear prosthetics on a Lord of the Rings movie. I'd be like, fuck you.
They couldn't pay you enough? Are you sure?
If they could pay me like fuck off money.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I would do it for.
It's the Lord of the Rings, for God's sake. They have that kind of money.
They have that kind of money to just throw at a nobody to to be like a dwarf or something in their movie.
You're not nobody. You're Steve Shives.
I'm the guy who is incredibly vocal about his disdain for Lord of the Rings and therefore will probably not get cast in a Lord of the Rings project.
You never know.
I don't. Well, I guess I don't know, but I have a really, really good feeling about it.
Uh, you're like the you're like the anti Han Solo. You have a good feeling about this.
I have a good feeling about this. And then but see then there's downsides to that too, because when something bad would go wrong in the ship, I would have to say that was my fault. Ooh, E.R. Mixon has a very challenging question. Where does this rank from 1 to 10 on the O'Brien suffering scale? Ooh.
Andrew's swearing at us.
Well, but he's trying. He's doing it by way of complimenting me, so I'll allow
exactly.
it.
I said with good reason.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
I would say this episode is maybe a 7 on the O'Brien suffering scale. It's not as bad as Hard Time. I think Hard Time is the worst. Hard Time is the worst.
Did we watch that one?
I don't think we've gotten to that one yet.
I don't know.
But this, yeah, or I don't know. I don't think it's, well, psychologically the one where it turns out that it's just like a clone of O'Brien at the end, and then the real O'Brien sits up in time to watch his own clone die. Like that.
I guess it would depend on O'Brien. That wouldn't bother me. I don't think. I mean, I've never had it happen, but it's somebody else. It just happens to look like me.
And you wouldn't find that even just a little traumatizing?
No.
Okay.
I mean, other than, watching somebody die and, it's, realizing they're not who they thought they were, that would be sad.
Okay. Corey, I agree. Hard Time has maybe the darkest scene I've ever seen in a Star Trek show.
Oh. We're gonna watch that one, right?
We're definitely gonna watch that. We won't get to it for a while because people are pointing out it's in season 4, so we're not gonna get there yet. But yeah, it has one of the darkest scenes I've ever seen in a Star Trek show. It's like it gets real. It gets like I'm sitting there watching it going, this feels too real for a Star Trek show.
Not first.
Yeah, it's a great episode. God damn, it's a great episode. But yeah. It's like, boy, they went hard on this one.
Several times?
Yeah.
I did a thing.
So I didn't ask you what I usually ask you, which is, how are you doing?
I'm really, really tired. I can't do all the things. And it's very discouraging. So I thought I was going to be able to go and house manage at the Little Women.
Oh, right. At the, yeah. But no.
I can't, because last Friday already happened.
And that's what it was.
And that's, yeah.
Whoops.
They have some other dates open up, but I'm just like, I just sort of, like, I start cutting back and saying no to stuff. Like, I haven't done any theater in a while. And then I start adding more stuff on. And, I've cut back. I'm not, at one point I was doing like 2 YouTube videos a week. How I managed that, I don't know. Maybe it was because I like built up some over Christmas.
Yeah.
And I had some Lois Lane writes clickbait a couple months ago. And I was like, yeah. And I haven't written anything in ages, and I just feel like I was just like, I should be able to do this. I'm just tired all the time. And then I'm like, well, but I did start doing the Patreon videos and the podcasts.
True.
And I'm volunteering at the library, and I'm doing Live Strong at the Y. It's like, yeah, it just kind of add up, doesn't it? So
yeah. I mean, I would be worried if you had let if you had let everything go and you were basically just focusing on school and you were still feeling at your limit, like, then I would start to worry. But I mean, you do have some extracurriculars going on. It's just like you said, you can't do everything.
So yeah, I know, but it's hard because I want to do the other things and like figuring out how much of this I can do and how much of that I can do and how much to cut back on. It's rough, and I talk about it with my students almost all the time, like nearly daily. I think daily I say it to at least one student individually. I did today. And, and plus, especially also when I talk with caregivers, did that today too, because I mean, man, sophomores especially, because most of them are getting their license and a lot of them are starting off on their first jobs, and then they're still involved in school and they're still involved in clubs and they're still involved in sports and they want to spend time with their friends. And of course there's family responsibilities. And it's like, welcome to
adulthood.
Yeah, really.
Just if it makes you feel any better, kids, just remember that when this transitional period that you're in is over, it'll just be like this for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So
congratulations.
Hopefully that puts you at ease.
It really is practice for the rest of your life, because the hopefully nice thing is you have supportive relationships from the adults in your life. And if you don't, let me know and I will do what I can to make sure that you have supportive relationships with some adults in your life. Oasis, I teach high school language arts. This semester I have this semester for my language arts classes, I have all sophomores. I've also got one class of online facilitation, which is, I'm not the teacher for most of them. I think I've got one student in that class that I'm actually the teacher of record for that student taking English. I've got a student taking Japanese. I've got a student taking psychology. I've got a student taking sociology, which is an extension of psychology, but one student's ahead of the other one. I've got a student taking forensics. I've got a student taking writing seminar. I've got 2 students taking dual enrollment biology. Just anyway, I've lost track already. World history as well. There's some dual enrollment world history. So it's like everybody's doing something different. Some of them are high school credits. Some of them are dual enrollment. Some of them are like accelerated college. What they all have in common is they all on the computer. And they all in my room.
Right. So you're not like officially their teacher. You're just there to make sure that they don't try to kill or fuck each other.
I think that the assumption is that that's not going to happen. And that my job is more to make sure that if something isn't working on the computer end, like I know that it is a program sort of, but I know no brain, it's not a facade, but yeah, the learning management systems.
Yeah. You can kind of guide them through it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then just basic questions about, I don't think I'm going to be able to have this in on time. How do I, tell my professor that I'm not going to be able to get this done? And what do I do? I'm just like, okay, first of all, just like breathe. Worst case scenario, you fail the class and it's okay. I'm just like, literally, I told mom that yesterday. I'm like, look, worst case scenario, this kid does not get credit for this class. There's summer school. He can take it again next year. That'll still be okay. I am not worried. World. I'm not worried about this kid. I said, we have all kinds of options. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Your health comes first. Ay. 25580, yes, but it's not like college forensics or university forensics. We have at our school, we have technical classes. A lot of schools do. The programs that we offer are criminal justice, dental hygienics, basic medical stuff. It's just general sort of pre-med type stuff. Health occupations, what that one's called. Business, computer programming, agricultural sciences. They do both plants and animals. Animal husbandry is one path, and then growing things. Brainy is another. And then construction. I think that's all of them. My brain is actually like going up and down the hall of the school, picturing the different classrooms. I think that's all of them. We used to have like early childhood education, but that teacher retired and it was replaced with the dental hygienics program. And then a long, long time ago, before I got there, when they were at the other building, I think they had an auto mechanics program, but when they moved, they were not able to continue that. So yeah.
When you were listing all those subjects just now, I had a flashback to those Sally Struthers commercials. I was waiting for you to say, or you can get your degree. You can major in business management or accounting.
Some of them actually do get an associate's when they complete high school.
Well, good for them. Those little overachievers. My God.
Yep. It's pretty neat. You see kids coming to school and like, wearing their scrubs, and some of them have, they have their work boots on. They go out and they work in the community and they do like, sort of internships and stuff. It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Yeah.
So, how has your week been, Steve?
My week has been pretty good. I had a video come out on Monday about the Fleischer Brothers Superman.
And I hear it's done pretty well.
People really liked, yeah. And actually, I watched some Fleischer Soups this morning when I was on the exercise bike. I just blasted through like 9 or 10 of them because I do the bike for an hour, and I guess maybe not 9 or 10, maybe 7 or 8, I don't know. But I watched a bunch of them, and I always love those. And then just today, a new Star Trek video went up about the Maquis, and people seem to be taking to that one pretty well as well. So yeah, lots of good-natured debate in the comments from people who say that the Maquis were morally justified in what they did, and people who said that they were not, and people who said it's complicated, and so. It was
and
cool.
I came up with a new idea for a writing prompt. I'm really excited about it. We were starting our villains unit.
Yes.
All started, and I told you about that. And
yes,
so
you did.
About Tuesday, because I was sick Monday. Tuesday, I had them do the villains list where they brainstorm as many villains as they can, and then take that into a top 10 list. And then I'm getting typed up I'm compiling all the lists together, and I'm going to have them look over the full list, and then have them compare that to their top 10 list and reflect on why they made the choices they did, what makes one character more or less villainous than others, what actions and what traits of character make a character more or less villainous. So
it's a really good idea.
Now I know. Now I have to go back and look at where I can fit it in and what other writing prompts I might need to take out.
Yeah.
Because this is for Julius Caesar. And so I've got another really good one coming up. And let's see, the one is, do you think that Caesar actually, would he have been a good ruler? Would he have been a good leader? Was he ambitious enough to justify the assassination? Why or why not? What evidence do we see because we don't really see a whole lot of about Caesar. It's not really about him.
Right.
So, and then, so I could get rid of that one. It's, that's kind of a fluff one though. And so maybe, and then another one that I really like is, so Brutus kind of gets tricked into joining the conspiracy. He is made to believe the people of Rome don't want Caesar. They are worried about Caesar becoming king. And of course, Brutus doesn't want Caesar to be king, because, and the way it's presented in the text is that he doesn't want Rome to no longer be a republic, to be a monarchy. He doesn't want there to be a king. He wants the people, he wants the public to run the republic. But if Brutus had found out the people of Rome really did want a monarchy, and that's what the people wanted, would he have gone through with the assassination? Would he have done what he believed was what the people wanted, even if that was not what he believed was healthy for the republic? How would he have approached that? What do you think and why? So I love that one.
Yeah.
And I get some really good responses there.
Get some thinking. Well, we are at 25 minutes past the hour. Shall we?
We should.
Whoa.
Snake Bit Cat, that one did not make the list. Now, granted, these are high school sophomores, so a lot of them, most of them have not
They haven't read 1984.
1984. Let's see. Usually Thanos is up to the, towards the top of the list. I
would say for teenagers, he would be probably he's like the Darth Vader of people who
Vader's
are kids
often
today,
up there as well. Yeah, Vader's often up there. Voldemort. You know who did not make the list? The teacher in the Harry Potter ones. Gosh, I can see her face. I can't remember her name.
Yeah. Fuck. Now, what's her name? Yeah, from Prisoner of Azkaban, right?
Folks, I don't remember.
Or no, not Prisoner of Azkaban.
The writing on the hand. Except I actually have writing on my hand.
Oh, what was her name?
Help, chat people. No, not Megatron. Although hilariously, both classes did not.
Dolores Umbridge.
Yes, she did not make the list at all this year.
Wow.
Really surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree that if Megatron had been in Harry Potter, it would have improved it. Like if Megatron had been the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher one year, that would have been incredible. And
that
Snape, because that would have been, and that's always the job that Snape wants. So like for yet another year, Snape gets passed over for a Decepticon, and he's just like, oh, I don't like this, And
so where was I going with that? Oh yeah. Okay, so both classes said Voltron. I was like,
Voltron's not a villain.
I know what. And
Voltron?
I was so confused. No, this happened both times when they said Ultron.
Oh, they said Ultron. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And I heard Voltron.
And you thought Voltron. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with you kids? Voltron was the hero.
Well, by the second time, I was like, wait,
Voltron was made of the heroes.
They said it again a second time. And I was like, that really sounds like that. Because other students thought it too. Other students thought they were saying Voltron. And I was like, that's kind of weird. But the second time it happened, I knew what they meant because the same thing had happened in the previous class. So funny.
I don't suppose there were any hipsters in any of your classes that picked like Cobra Commander or Skeletor.
There were some obscure choices, but they ran to anime and manga.
Ah, I gotcha. Nerds. Andrew Starscream. Oh man, Starscream, yes. Megatron!
Wow, yeah.
Snape, yeah, Jake, yeah. He was
in Harry Potter? What?
255 AD asks a question, and I'll answer this question, and then we'll start the episode.
Then we
How's
can
that?
Start the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
255 AD asks Fleischer Superman or DCAU Superman, which is better? Fleischer Superman is better, and it's not even close. No disrespect to the DCAU Superman, who I appreciate. And I watched Superman the Animated Series every Saturday morning when it was on and stuff. Like, no disrespect to that version of Superman. But it's not even close. It's not even close. It's the Fleischer Superman in a walk.
Normative, no. Iago isn't the villain. Jafar is.
Yeah, Iago's just the little parrot. What are you talking about?
High school sophomores, like entering sophomores. They haven't. This is our Shakespeare unit. We're working with Julius
they're
Caesar.
Gonna read. They're gonna throughout their entire high school career. They're gonna read 3 or 4 Shakespeare plays, and Iago ain't in any of them. So
no, that's not true. We have taught Othello.
Oh really? Oh, that you told me that was an alternate. Yeah, that you could they could choose off. Yeah. Okay. All right. So hopefully everybody has.
Palpatine. I got a lot from Star Wars, Andrew. We're not talking about this. We're starting the show.
We can talk about villains after the show. People still want to talk about villains, but
And I just reset, so I'm good.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I had to reset it too. Okay, so once again, we're watching Tribunal from season 2.
Remember that. Ask me after the show. We'll get to that. We're gonna watch the show 255 AD.
Yes. Okay, here we go. I'm going to count this in from 3. I'll do 3, 2, 1, play, and hit play when I say play, and then we will watch Tribunal Okay, here we go. Everybody get
Let's
ready.
find out.
Huh?
Will there be a beauty shot? Let's find out. I'm curious.
I hope there will be. Otherwise,
Artist.
I'll be disoriented. Okay, here we go. Oh, let me bring the time. Okay, okay, here we go.
Ready. I was ready.
I wasn't ready. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Okay.
Ready. In 3, 2, 1, play. Hey, there's that beauty shot. Just so we know where we're at.
I will tell you all the things, but we have to watch the show. Pizza time. I waited, you guys. My pizza is no longer piping hot because I love you. And I'm being like polite stuff.
I know it's a hardship for you.
Oh, now that's not foreshadowing. I don't know what is.
Try not to get captured and tortured. Oops. Jinxed it. Howard Stark?
Voltron 3?
Boy, Voltron's all over the place this week.
Uh-huh. O'Brien is clearly a Democrat. In his civvies, wearing that Democrat blue, baby.
Yeah, baby. Well, he is a union man.
Exactly.
What a lovely, totally random bump in. You know, it's just nice.
What a coincidence.
Gotcha. That's not the kind of shot that you would take of a hero. I mean, I feel like that kind of marks him as at least a bit sus. Irish DC 95, it is a small can of Coke. I am not a giant. Yes, my hand is not that big.
Man hands, Steve. You got man hands.
That's right, baby. You know what they say about guys with large hands? Large gloves.
Oh, they make a can of Coke look small.
Oh, I guess they do too. Yeah, 255 AD. We are at the opening. We just saw the Deep Space Nine title just came up.
Da, da, da,
da, da, da, da. Everybody just relax and meditate and enjoy the nice soothing theme song.
Miss Kringle, they have really, really good Photoshop.
They do. Photoshop of the future is amazing.
Exactly.
It can yeah, Richard, no, my hands are not Andre size. No, this is, you want to see my impression of Andre the Giant holding a regular size Coke can? It's this right here.
Pizza. Good pizza.
Good?
I like pizza. And this pizza is good.
So do
you
I.
made this pizza.
Yeah, I was just going to say, this is the, it's a frozen pizza that you added some
more
additional
toppings.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You can tell O'Brien is a big shot because they let him take one of the station's runabouts on his personal vacation.
You have to bring the hologram. You have a baby, for God's sakes.
Good thing Julian revived me.
Ugh.
Oh, Christ, you're as bad as Scotty.
Oh.
Everybody
Not saying
loves the
much.
Petersons. They're off screen. Can't you just replicate a holocam? You have a magic hole.
That's what he said.
Ah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh, God, I hate Minazaki. Fuck.
He's like, that's the idea.
You ever done it in a cockpit chair, baby?
There's a reason they call it that.
You know, these chairs recline. Actually, I think she's going to say that in a second.
Hey!
Hmm.
Oh, Steve.
So that's a no. They're really tempting fate now. Oh, there's that other shoe. Cardassian patrol ship Hideki class? Why does a Cardassian ship have a class named after a Japanese name? Ooh.
You
Better
have
do it.
10 seconds.
We better do as he says, dear. 255 AD, he needs a pad for each one because the iPad had not been invented at the time of this episode, and the writers didn't know how that was going to work. Well, I'm all broken up about that man's rights. Oh, Central Prison on Cardassia Prime. That sounds nice. I bet that's nice. Don't worry, Keiko. He'll be fine. We're just going to torture and execute him.
Keiko deserves better
Then O'Brien?
than the writing.
Oh yeah. Oh, well, yeah. That's. I'm pretty sure that's going to be. I'm going to make that video at some point. There's definitely a a Keiko video coming. Remove your clothes. You didn't know the password. Just a little off the top. Sorry, I'm just guessing at your size. I hope this fits. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thanks, Odo. He just read the things they carried over and over and over again. I wonder if this is related.
Yeah, I'd rather see Miles being tortured. Thanks.
We like to say the surprise. That's the fun part, Keiko. You just don't get it, do you, Keiko?
Also, he's already guilty.
Yeah. I want you to find that Howard Stark looking guy he was talking to.
Oh, there was an Enterprise reference? Oops.
Yeah, when Cisco said that Starfleet has deployed a bunch of ships to the demilitarized zone, one of them was the Enterprise.
Oh, okay.
It's not important.
Hopeless.
Peppermint Oil Capsule says, my comments don't show up on your vids. Have I offended you? I don't think so. If your comment hasn't shown up, it might be that I just haven't approved it yet. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. David C. Drake, yes, I will take Odo over Frodo any day of the week. Uh-huh. Exactly. Vilcata, no, it's not Herman Munster. It's actually Fritz Weaver, who is in some Twilight Zones, you may remember.
Salutary. Okay. Yes, I asked, what are the charges?
Exactly.
I asked that already.
I made it quite clear. I do have some questions. Oh, thank you, Zach. Glad you could make it.
Oh, we don't all make cases.
Oh, he's such a nice fascist lawyer, you know? Very likable. Very pleasant. Snake bit cat, that is an awesome reference.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. I will explain it later if you would like. The censors can always be fooled. The censors suck. Anytime the plot needs the censors to be fooled, they get fooled.
Well, that's because they don't actually make stories about the times when the censors aren't fooled.
Exactly.
It's confirmation bias.
Ah.
My boyfriend.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Duh. You know, it's actually not the worst vacation I've ever been on. What a beautiful system. I mean, I sold him some weapons, but
Mm. That doesn't always mean you follow the law, Miles. That's a different thing.
well, guess what? Some of them died like cowards.
Yeah.
And in a innocent man.
Innocent man.
Oh, yes, I am. Madman 22, no, he only has one kid at this point. Kiriyoshi doesn't come along until, I think, season 4. Oh, like they did Luke Skywalker's voice on the Book of Boba Fett. What, to see how much he weighs? Come on. Come on in.
Woof, woof, woof.
Just Kringle. Nice laser tag arena. Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't there anything else on?
Oh, she's merciful. How thoughtful.
Fritz Weaver starts earning his money now. And he sits the hell down. Oh.
By which I mean me.
255 AD, the conservator is played by Fritz Weaver.
Dun, dun, dun.
We have no place for evidence. Well, Judge Judy, eat your heart out.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because I'm like a deep throat guy. I'm telling you the truth. Bye.
Dun, dun, dun.
So the Maquis are able to control systems aboard a Federation space station. Let's find out.
I just,
What? You want to put your thumb in his forehead spoon?
it's right there. I mean, and she's got like she's got a hickey in the middle
Oh yeah,
of her forehead.
hers is all fancy. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering if not makeup.
Yeah, like it's
Fashionable.
Yeah, it's fashionable, exactly. Oh, I subscribe to that newsletter.
The answer is no.
$255 AD, no. We're worried about your relationship with your parents. Bye. Compulsory medical exams are my favorite. Kemp, right? He does look like Howard Stark. If the Avengers was a TV movie, he would totally play Howard Stark. Do not go in there. Whoo!
Compelled to Gordon. What?
Yeah, you're going to execute me anyway. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't seem like you have that much to hold over my head here.
God help us.
I love how exasperated he is with this whole thing. Well, that's all I got.
The answer is easy. I didn't. The answer is easy. Your cord is mistaken. You're
Kill him.
wrong, Madam Archon. I'll go to my death with a smile. Oh, none yet, lady.
Oh, a bunch. Including the war, roughly 50,000. The second one. Doesn't sound like me.
Well, I'm declining anyhow. Lost control. You never had control.
Exactly. Yeah, that's his job. He knows his job.
Whoa, how you get in there?
Is that Tom Selleck? No, it's not. Never mind.
How him get in there? I don't know if I like this. It's strange. It's different. I don't like.
They'll kill me.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we do that anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why are we not doing that now that O'Brien is back safe?
I don't know. Holocam, yes. No reading materials.
You have replicators. You have computer pads.
You can
There
put text
we
on
have it.
computer pads?
Huh?
You can put text on computer pads?
I know.
What?
Isn't it amazing?
Who'd have thunk?
Well, there we have it. So what did you think of that episode?
Pretty good. I think
Yeah?
that might be my favorite so far. Yep.
Wow. What made this one your favorite so far?
I like Keiko, and she wasn't a teacher.
I get that.
There was I like the conservator.
Yes, I love that character.
Yeah. She's really cool.
You mean the judge, the Archon? Yeah, I love
The
her too.
Archon.
I thought you were
I like
talking about
her.
the lawyer, but yeah, the Archon was great. Yeah.
Not really fond of the conservator.
Oh, I love the conservator. You flatter me, sir. You flatter me. Come on.
Yeah, no, I'd like to be the conservator. That would be fun to play, but like, just like I can't imagine that actually working on anyone. Like his job is theoretically to like promote that confession,
Right.
and I'm just like that. Why? By what? Convincing them that it's going to be good for somebody else?
Yeah.
Like no, like I could do a better job than that. Just cold, you know. It will do you good. And especially since he believes it's true, it will do you good. You know, accept the truth. That will bring you peace in these few last hours that you have. You know, that's all that you have. Why not make the most of the time that you have left? Don't, you don't have much. Don't make it miserable. You know.
You have not watched very many. In fact, I don't know if you have ever watched any of the original Twilight Zone, because I know we've talked about this, right? Have you ever
Mm-hmm.
seen an episode
Yep.
of Twilight Zone?
Nope.
So, one of the things I really like about this episode is that
Mm-hmm.
it is basically a Twilight Zone episode with a happy ending. Because if it was a Twilight Zone, he would not be on his way home with his wife and his friends at the end of the show. Um, but the premise of abducted, taken, put on trial, being subjected to the laws of this state that make no
Yeah.
sense and are completely unfair, and like having no recourse and no way out. No, that's a very Twilight Zone premise. And actually, the really cool reference that I mentioned earlier, the chef's kiss reference that somebody made in the chat.
Uh-huh.
So Fritz Weaver, who plays the conservator, was in a couple of classic Twilight Zone episodes.
Oh, so that's why you like him so much.
So-
You're biased.
So
You're
it's
biased.
good. It's good casting for that, because they cast a Twilight Zone actor in this Twilight Zone-ish show. But also, one of the episodes he was in was called "The Obsolete Man," where he.
Ah,
So when the reference in the chat was the court finds you obsolete, he was the
you
guy
go.
from that episode. So
you are such a nerd.
he was actually
Nerd.
he was the no, yeah, he was the judge. He was not the obsolete man in that episode was actually played by Burgess Meredith. Fritz Weaver was like the bad guy. He was the representative of the state, but yeah.
255 I've never been to Brazil, so.
Have you ever seen the movie?
Oh
I think that's what the question is.
no, obviously, I thought you were talking about the state. So
Yeah.
no, obviously not. Yeah, but I think it would be more that 255 that's a hard sell for me.
The idea that because Cardassians are like indoctrinated to be
Sort of.
subservient to the
that-
state, that they would be receptive to that argument.
Yeah, not quite that argument. I would do it differently. I would play with those lines, but I would do it differently. In that case, I would go, this is essentially go with the war from TNG. The thing about his dad, that yes, this is personally a dishonor for you. And this is going to mean the end of your life, but this is what the people need. They need closure. Not to have closure on this will possibly create generations of chaos. You can prevent that. You can make a difference. And I know it is a huge sacrifice. People wouldn't even know that you had done this, but you would know. You would know that you are the one who had saved us all. That's how I play it.
And you think that would work on a Cardassian?
I think that would be more effective than being loud and voice wavy. I think
You
so.
flatter me, sir. Jess, a librarian, would know that episode because the obsolete man in that episode was a librarian. That's why he was obsolete, because the state no longer had books. So the librarian was obsolete. And therefore he was
Libraries
history.
aren't just about books, Steve.
Norman's got it, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Irish DC95 says, I would imagine the propaganda that the state knows all, therefore the state already knows you're guilty, so you may as well save whatever reputation you've got left and confess. Would that be, do you think that would work? Sort of like
your reputation doesn't matter if you're dead. I think it's much more, your family needs disclosure.
Which is kind of related to that, but
yeah,
a different spin on it. Yeah. Empire Jeff says the 2000 Twilight Zone has an episode titled "It's Still a Good Life." It's a sequel to an episode from the original Twilight Zone. Yes, I've seen that episode. It's not nearly as good as the original, but it is one of the more memorable episodes from that particular Twilight Zone show. The Twilight Zone is one of the.
I haven't seen that, but I've read the short story.
One of these days, I'll tell you what. The next time, the next time you and I are, we both have some free time, and you feel like watching something together, we will watch. We will watch "It's a Good Life" from the original Twilight Zone, because
man,
that's such a great episode.
I will. I can believe it. Being familiar with the short story, but it's going to depend on the kid.
Oh, well, the kid is great.
Oh, good.
Bill Mooney, good. Little Billy Mooney. He's great. Yeah. You keep thinking bad thoughts about me. Oh, he's great.
I'll take your word for it.
I don't like that dog. That's why I made him go on fire. He's just so goddamn good. 255 AD, I don't think it's literally based on the trial by Kafka, but obviously there are, I would say there are probably, it was an inspiration, but I don't think it's literally like an adaptation of it or anything.
Dun, 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 dun. More suffering for O'Brien. Screw him,
We'll get him the worst guy and say he's the best guy.
Caitlin, thank you. Well, mostly I was thinking, he seems to be making it about him. And the he's very over the top theatrical, and I also think he doesn't look fancy enough.
Yeah, his clothes are kind of
he should look more official and state sponsored. I think that would also help. 255 AD, nope, not going to do it anytime soon either. I've got
you've got plenty on your reading list.
I know. Oh, and I have to keep moving. I need to finish off Total Eclipse, Happily Ever Afters, buzz through those suckers, and then Song of Solomon. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, Empire Jeff, that's right. Rod Serling did write the time element, which I believe was his inspiration to start the Twilight Zone, because the time element it's not officially a Twilight Zone episode. It was produced before the Twilight Zone was a thing, but it's very much in the form of what eventually would be a typical Twilight Zone episode. Rod Serling was one of the great writers of the golden age of television. I would say he is one of the big three American TV writers in the 1950s that made the golden age of television. The other two being, of course, Sebastian Rose, who wrote 12 Angry Men, and Paddy Chayefsky, who would go on to write Network in the 70s, and also was one of the outstanding TV writers of the 50s. They wrote for Playhouse 90 and Studio One, the two big live dramatic TV shows that were the live anthologies that were sort of a precursor to shows like the Twilight Zone. I could talk about the golden age of television. Oh no, it's my favorite era. I believe you. I have DVD sets of Playhouse 90 and Studio One in my living room.
Bless you. You're such a nerd.
I love that stuff. It is. I wish there were shows like that today. I wish there was a show like Studio One today where it was like a live 1 hour drama, every week. That's just amazing to me.
Yeah, I'm not with Steve on this. I think they absolutely should have been ready to go, because it's not like they say at the end. It's not about O'Brien. It's not about O'Brien. It's about discrediting the Federation. That is their Cardassian. Those people in Cardassia are pushing for war. They should have been ready if that faction, if that faction had been successful. They should have been ready.
Well, now if the
because it's already started at that point.
If the Cardassians had done something more aggressive than just kidnap O'Brien, and because the thing is, like, if they had the evidence that O'Brien was innocent, and they could show that to everybody else and say, hey, look, we can prove that the Cardassians are full of shit, then whatever the Cardassians were trying to accomplish wouldn't be accomplished.
If they had that, yeah, essentially. Obviously, I don't think they should have, kept the truth to themselves, let O'Brien hang, and then be like, ha ha, Cardassia is full of shit. No. But if they hadn't had that evidence, and they'd found that they hadn't been able to produce it, and that faction had been successul in attempting to discredit the Federation, they got to be ready to move on that.
Now, I will say this:
it's not because they're not the ones going to war. They are simply being attacked and they are defending.
I don't think they should have just let them execute O'Brien. I think they should have sent in the Star Trek equivalent of special forces to try to get him out.
Dun, 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 dun,
they should
dun,
send in the
dun,
A-team.
Dun.
Or the Mission Impossible team. Your mission, should you choose to accept it. There you go. Da 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 da. Mr. T can be like, I don't like flying on shuttlecraft. Put me to sleep. I can't fly on no shuttlecraft.
Mr. T's a hacker. You don't know. Maybe Mr. T's got mad computer skills. Sorry. I just really like that ad. Sorry. I know you're not a gamer. I'm not really a gamer either. I just like that ad.
Did you ever see the Key and Peele sketch? It was like done in the form of a Mr. T educational video from the 80s, where it's supposed to be like it's two kids and they're having like a conversation on a playground, and they occasionally get interrupted by Mr. T, who comes in and he's like, supposedly correcting like their dangerous behavior. But after like the second time, it becomes obvious that Mr. T only intervenes when it pertains to him personally. So like, because like they're talking about like, hey, you want to go try some drugs? No, Mr. T. You want to drink some alcohol? No, Mr. T. And then finally the boy like makes fun of the girl's hair. And Mr. T comes in and goes, never make fun of somebody's hair.
That's all I got.
That's all. Well, I'm so glad you enjoyed this episode. That you say this was your favorite episode so far.
I did enjoy this episode.
I like this episode too. I like this episode a lot. It's difficult to go wrong with O'Brien Must Suffer episodes. They're usually at least pretty good.
And it's not happening to me. That's why I really like this.
I get to watch someone else get tortured.
Yay!
So, next week we will be back to Hilda. We will be watching Chapter 4 of Season 2, The Eternal Warriors.
Bugs on the head.
Ooh, it sounds like The Eternal Warriors sounds like it could be like a He-Man episode. So, looking forward to that.
Well, I mean, and also don't we have, what's her name? The basketball player being held in Russia. 255 AD says, what would you want the U.S. to do if China
abducted? Yeah, I wouldn't want
I'm just like...
I wouldn't want us to start a war over it. That would get most
people
killed.
It's what exactly is the purpose? Like here we have as an audience, we have additional knowledge that this is not just about O'Brien. This is about essentially starting a war with the Federation. Like they're starting it. It's not the Federation going to war with Cardassia if this becomes successful. It's Cardassia is starting a war, and the Federation is breaking the treaty, and the Federation is responding to that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Dana did squeak Radical Bacon. I believe that was a squeak. She squeaks from time to time.
when I yawn. I'm thinking about it again.
Oh yeah, but
Oh,
we'll be back next week to watch Hilda. So don't forget the charitylinks.page.
very important.
Don't forget Dana's YouTube channel.
Also
YouTube.
important, please leave me comments.
Yes, and Dana's Patreon if you would like to support her on YouTube. Patreon.com/Dana Cold Dares. Linked in the description.
And Patreon is another place where you can leave me comments.
That there are so many places
I
that people can
know.
leave you comments.
At Dana Calderas on Twitter. You can like respond. You could like mention me there. Just shoot me a mention.
A mention is like basically a comment.
like quasi comment.
It's a quasi
Yeah,
comment.
go for it. It's quasi comment. Totally quasi comment.
It's a quasiment.
Something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Charity links. Watch your thing. Hilda next week.
Hilda next week.
Leave comments.
No live streams this Friday or Saturday for us. Although, actually, let me mention this. I am having a special live stream tomorrow with Christy Winters.
Ooh, what's it about?
A mutual acquaintance of ours named James Mansell, who is a filmmaker, an independent filmmaker. We're going to talk about an animated short that he recently made and released that is really cool. It's like a 5-minute black and white animated short. It's really cool. So we're going to talk about and some other of his work. We did a live stream.
I'm
with him.
sorry, you said animated shorts. I'm sleepy. Now I'm thinking about little
short. That
pants.
have I shown it to you? That's exactly what it is. It's just a pair of shorts just bouncing around. No, it's not what it is. But anyway, so that'll be tomorrow. But yeah, so we're looking forward to that.
25580. I have no idea why my students know Voltron, because like they said Ultron, and then some of them were like Voltron. So obviously they know, but like we had a lot to get through. Whatever, I don't know. That was yesterday. We had a lot to get through yesterday.
Haven't there been other? I mean, I know like the Voltron show that I remember from when I was a kid was a long time ago. But haven't there been other Voltron cartoons that have been on since that a younger person might be?
I don't know, but you know what I know? Da 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 da.
Oh yeah, baby. That's
See, I'm really honored.
One year for Christmas. I got all of them. I got all.
There has been no. There has been a more recent. Yeah, there's been a more recent series. I forgot about that. Yeah, because it was all over.
Yeah.
It was all over. Netflix. I'm assuming is this one, but yeah, it was all over. Like Tumblr. Oh my gosh.
They loved the Voltron.
Clance is a thing, y'all. and you know, different levels of appropriateness depending on how it's portrayed. So, all right.
You are yawning, so you're probably going to be getting ready for bed.
I'm yawning, and I'm not making a whole lot of sense.
I have wrestling starting in 25 minutes, so
yeah.
It's Wednesday. You know what that means?
Pizza's eaten.
Yes. So anyway, thank you all for joining us. Thanks for watching Star Trek with us, and we'll see you next week for Chapter 4, Season 2 of Hilda.
Bye everybody. Thanks so much for joining us.